Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. So we got some crazy news with Tesla, talking about the market, and I want to share some personal things, which I just want to share with you. Anyway, let's just jump in and check out the headlines together. So we can see here, Tesla cuts EV prices for fifth time this year. Model 3 is now at 41,9990, so about 42,000. This is interesting as well, is we have Tesla cuts prices of all models for the second time this year. And the reason why I'm showing you two different headlines is because, okay, which is it? Is it 5 times or 2 times? The answer is yes. So it's a good case of sometimes you run a headline that sort of makes more clicks and more interest. This is part of media. It doesn't necessarily mean media is like lying to you. It's just they're trying to get you to watch, essentially. My job, what I try to do is just like be accurate as possible. So yes, Tesla is cutting prices, and that's what I think is really the main thorough of this headline. And in fact, 42,000 for the Model 3 is pretty aggressive. I actually think this is going to sell pretty well. If they could have got it to 39,000, I think that would have been even more headline for them. And in my opinion, that they should have done that. But it is what it is, and the year is still young. Model 3 performance is at 52, 53-ish. Model Y mid-50s, and then you're looking at price cuts, guys, at like, double digit, right? So 10 to 20% on these kind of cars. The Model S, you're looking at around 20 to 25% cuts, and you're ranging from the S is going to be like, 85 to say upward at 135, and the Model X from 95 to 140. So these aren't cheap cars, as I'm sure you guys know. And I think that the bulls and the bears on Tesla will spin it however way that they want. I'm just showing you the prices. So, you make up your own mind. And also too, I'll just tell you my opinion on this. I think competition is real. I don't think it's a crazy thing to say. I think, BMW makes cars, Mercedes makes cars. You got Volkswagen in there, Hyundai, Kia, then you got Toyota, Hyundai. I also think the new Toyota Prius is going to be a hot seller. The thing actually looks pretty nice. And it's going to be a fight. Now, Elon Musk, from their point of view, he's going to tell everybody, we're going to sacrifice profitability, right? Sacrifice profits in order to grow. And so then the bulls are going to be like, oh man, this is all about growth. Look at our deliveries are going to the moon. The issue, guys, is that when you're cutting prices, right, you're cutting the amount of money that you make. It should be obvious. And so you need to sell a heck of a lot more cars to maintain, the profits that you once had. So I just don't think they're going to do it going to recession and with more competition. So tend to be more on the bearish case, and I think Tesla's overvalued. But I get it. There'll be bulls that will pitch together. I'm just showing you the prices, and please share in the comments your opinion on this one. And I think this is always fun to talk about Tesla. It's like this particular one is kind of a fun story. One thing I thought is important to point out, which other channels may or may not. In China, Teslas are cheaper. In fact, look at this. For the Model 3, it's equivalent to about $33,000. And then the Model Y is equivalent to about 38. So it's a lot cheaper in China. So I guess you try to think to yourself, okay, how can I go to China and buy a Tesla and bring it back? But shipping fees, putting their Tesla on a boat may not be worth it. And plus too, the how can I say, the authorities may be interested in taxing you as well. So not just shipping, you got taxes going on. There's going to be a story too, which I think is scandalous. So you read the headline, Tesla employees reportedly passed around personal videos from owners' cars. So the basic gist of it is, I guess Tesla has this thing called Sentry mode, where it just kind of records video of essentially people. And the Tesla would always claim that, we're not sending this stuff back to Tesla. We have no access to your private data, these kind of things. But then how is a better way to say, not sorry why, because we know why, because I guess some of these videos are funny. But how are Tesla employees getting videos from essentially customers who are have their car in Sentry mode? So this is going to be a big issue in many countries around the world who have data privacy laws. Every country is going to be different. So Tesla could have a real problem here if this ends up being a big scandal. And again, there's always drama with Tesla, so you guys understand what we're talking about and why we're talking about. And in terms of the, why they could be funny, just imagine any number of things that people do in their car, any number of things, right? I don't have to tell you, just any number of things that people do in cars. So I can see why people would pass this stuff around. Who knows what people are doing in their cars. So I guess the job market, right, is still tight. One of the things that we've been watching is, is unemployment going up or not? My personal opinion is that unemployment will go up. So that's why I've been warning you guys about these things and keep, track of your job and your network to make sure that you have somewhere to go in case your company is laying off people. Sometimes that sort of bothers me, and we make jokes about it in this channel, but in some networks, so we'll just use CNBC example. There's a particular person named Rick Santelli, and he's always jumping up and down when there's unemployment. He's like a cheerleader for unemployment. So it always comes across a bit weird because, guys, we're talking about people who are getting their jobs laid off, so are getting laid off, right? So I always want to, be sensitive on that kind of topic. And the issue is that if the labor market remains strong, it just means that the Fed hasn't quite, essentially forced companies to slow hiring and force companies to make cuts, et cetera, because interest rates are going up. So it looks like they're going to be raising, rates again in May. That would be the bet. But we'll see. You got more, inflation data, CPI coming out as well before. I think the next one is in May, the meeting. So we'll see on that. I'm not going to make predictions on that kind of thing, other than I'll just tell you what it is and sort of my feeling. Our market is up and down 10% every day, it feels like. So it's a market. You may hear about this one. This probably won't be super headlines, but the Dollar General, they got some issue with safety there and hazardous chemicals. Basically, but kind of my feeling on this. And in fact, I don't really ever go to Dollar General, but I have a general idea what it is. I think they just got a bunch of inventory, and they put the inventory that blocks the exit ways, and that's probably not so good. And I guess maybe they've been doing it for years, and for whatever reason, it's like many of their stores, and so they have another federal workplace violation. This one's a fun one as well. The IRS is going after NFTs. I guess the legislation, and there's so many things up in the air, be it crypto and NFTs, but we do know the government is, coming up with new rules and also regulating the YouTubers who are pumping FTX or other crypto things. The NFT issue is our NFTs collectibles or not? And when you buy and sell these things, are we going to treat them as collectibles? I think if you treat it collectible, it will be under different tax things than it is now. You can make the case, which is kind of a funny case, that NFTs are completely worthless, this digital garbage, and not worth anything. And so, therefore, you shouldn't tax it at all because it's not worth anything. It's a funny joke because if you take that point of view, it would be to lessen taxes, right? But from the bulls on NFTs, would be like, no, they really are cool and collectible and stuff like that. So the sort of a can you have your cake and eat it too sort of situation with the NFT. Another thing that's been going on as well is Jamie Dimon. He keeps coming out publicly and making statements about what's going on with the banking crisis. So now he's saying what he's saying. It's near to getting resolved, which is a little bit different than his letter that was saying we're going to need regulations. It's mixed. His letter was also saying he was saying it was the situation now is better than '08 because it's not so widespread among big banks. However, I will say I think what's going on, in my opinion, is the Jamie Dimon, and he's not going to say it publicly, but I'm sure he's in talks with the government and they're trying to keep everybody calm because it's to his interest and his company's interest or bank's interest for people to have trust in the system and just believe everything is on the up and up. And I'll just tell you guys, there's a fight among banks. We're dealing with a lot of money, and wherever the regulations go, they will benefit some banks and hurt other banks. There's no possible way you can regulate. I think we have like some crazy number, like 3,000 banks in the country, and everyone get equal benefit. This is too many players at hand. And so, like I said, I think right now JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon over there, their main concern is just keeping people's faith and trust in the system. So keep an eye on that. The quote was, it's kind of funny, his quote, everyone knew about uninsured deposits. Everyone knew about insured exposure. Everyone knew about health to maturities. The only real difference in talking about Silicon Valley Bank was essentially that their concentrated client base, right? So they had specific clients, which are all the startup industry kind of thing. So he's trying to make the case that, it wasn't as bad as people making out. It's not like we didn't know these things that we did, but that kind of makes the case sound bad because we should have been regulating if we knew about the problems of say, banks underwater on their long dated bonds and securities, these kind of things. So we'll watch these things. And then as I mentioned before in the intro, I have a little bit of personal news. I'm actually working on an animation at the moment and the animation is an intro to my family story. So it's not intended to be a total animation. I'm just working it as an animation, as an intro, and look to do a book and a documentary film. And if you want to know more about that, you can just visit my website, and there's links in the description. Just take a look. I won't mention every single video because I want to give you guys the news, but I just wanted to mention this because you probably wonder, like, why is my upload schedule like once a day, these days, in terms of YouTube. It's because there's been just some crazy family stuff going on, and I just want to share with you, if you guys don't know me that well. It's a long story, but the basic gist of it is, at the end of the Vietnam War, I was orphaned, and frankly, I thought my family had died. My family had thought I had died in the plane crash, so they never came looking for me. As it turned out, we were both wrong. My family's alive, and therefore, I'm alive. And I'm going to meet my family for the first time in about 6 weeks from now, something like that. Yeah, the end of May. So I'll be flying back with my wife, and we'll be sharing the experience with you guys. And I'm looking to do, like I said, book and documentary. This is something that it's been a long running thing in that I've been working on for years, to be really frank. And also, if you don't know me, I was a professor. I teach international business. I teach advertising. I teach film. And I actually worked in Hollywood a bit, and would pitch my story. This is before knowing about my family history at all. And then back then, the story was interesting in itself. And I even did a video with BuzzFeed a couple of years ago talking about it, because I actually found my orphanage. And there was just no records of anything. So I just figured there's, no chance at all of ever finding anyone that was, I was related to. But it turns out I was wrong. And the best way to describe it is that sometimes the impossible is possible. And so I'm trying to put the pieces of the story, or introduction to the story, better to say it, in a digestible way. In like 2 or 3 minutes, if you don't have, an hour to like dig through Chris's history, because it's crazy stuff. And at the moment, and I'll if you guys have a better title, please let me know. But I'm titling The Officer, the Teacher, and the Lost Son. And I hope to have the introduction animation done by this weekend, or at least watchable. That's a better to describe it, because I just want to tell you, it's a work in progress, and it's been hard for me to concentrate on other things right now, because this thing is so deeply personal, and also too, I want to share the story to make it relatable and something that you can understand why it's an important story. I'm pushing 50, and we're approaching also the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. And so if I can, finish all the book and documentary saved in time for that, which I think we're essentially would be on schedule for that, it could be really, really special. So it is a wild story. And it's funny because, like, it's even crazy to me, and it's my story. So like I said, if you're interested in stuff, you can visit the site and watch all the videos and stuff like that. Find my Vietnam playlist, etc. But again, I'll try to have the intro animation done by this weekend. I'm literally gonna upload this daily news video and start working on it right away. And it's if you guys don't know, I don't sleep when I'm working, so I haven't slept I slept like 3 hours the last 24, and it's just a wild range of emotions. So just wanted to share that with you guys, why, and maybe you haven't noticed it, but for me, it's just I've been a little bit scatterbrained, because it's just it's just a mix of emotions, and also too with adrenaline. It's just like, kind of excited to get it done. And when I put them, I just did this, like, literally just a few hours ago. I finished the first sort of movie poster kind of look, and I putting it together, I was in tears, actually, because it's like actually coming to life, my family story, in a way that no one has ever seen, and telling us a story about my family, and it's not just my family, but just about people in Vietnam, that, again, no one has ever seen these kind of stories in this way. You'll see what I mean. And I'm just really excited to share with everyone. So yeah, that's what I say. So Anyway, I do appreciate you guys watching the daily news with me every day, and I hope you understand. I just want to make this clear when I do the daily news, I try my best to give you guys the facts. I mean, honestly, because I think there's too many outlets out there that just make up stuff all the time, or go way too heavy-handed on opinion, and I try not to do that. And I also try to make it really clear, like, hey, this is my opinion, this is the facts, to sort of understand that there are two different things. And I also ask, bluntly for, hey, what's your opinion? Because I want to make it clear that you have a right to whatever opinion you have. And I think that's something that we, for whatever reason in society, we think that people can't have opinions, and that part's weird to me. But I will say, though, this is the best way to describe it is, you can have your own opinion, but not your own facts. Like we all should, live in a world where we can all agree that, Tesla is cutting prices on their cars, right? Like that kind of stuff. Like we need to have this baseline of, okay, we can all see it, right? Tesla's cutting their prices, and agree on the facts. And then we share our opinions on that. And so that's sort of the sort of, I guess, goal of my channel, is to have that kind of thinking. These are the facts. This is my opinion, and what's yours? Not, I'm just going to make crap up, and Tesla's, raising prices. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. And so you guys get my point on that. Anyway, I do appreciate everyone watching every day. And I can tell you the channel, it keeps growing. We're still a very, very small channel, but my personal opinion, not necessarily fact, but my personal opinion is that I think the content in this channel is honestly better than anyone else's. And that's my feeling on that. So thanks again for watching, everyone. And I'll catch you in the next video.